Let me salute in for you. Hello there. Buddha Z explains. Explains what? Well, today, well, of course, all these are going to be for a while. We've got a ways to go. In fact, there's actually going to be 72 podcasts, I think. I divided this book into 72 podcasts. Anyway, this is a short little poem I was trying to show you. And I wrote this I think I mentioned that when I was doing the intro. I was trying to think, I explained this to somebody. It's because we read the contents. But yeah, I wrote this a long time ago. In fact, I can figure out the year if I think about it long enough. It would probably have been about 1973. 73, maybe 72, but 73, I'm going to guess, might be more accurate. So anyway, yeah, long time ago at UCLA. Here we go. Now I'm going to do you two poems because this one's so short, you get another one. So this is a 2-poem day, bonus day. Anyway, when I divided the book up, I made these decisions, and I don't want to keep changing my decisions over and over. Sometimes I realize I got a good plan, and sometimes just sticking with it and following through is more important than altering it as you go. All right, here we go. Now, the name Genodus is obviously, if you didn't recognize it, is Genesis and Exodus crammed together. So the beginning of the Bible and the end of the Bible, or anyway, beginning and end of the Hebrews in Egypt is really what it is, I guess, according to my limited understanding. Okay. Now, I am not a theologian. I am a very spiritual person, and I have a lot of spiritual knowledge and spiritual experiences, but I'm not a theologian. So I haven't absorbed knowledge just to be able to disseminate to you facts. I've just experienced and know a lot of stuff that I can explain and share. That's it. Let me. That marker, I'm using that to do my count-ins. So we're on episode 16. I had to figure out a way to do that instead of bringing it in my clipboard. All right, here we go. Genodus. Okay. I took a long time to say nothing, didn't I? Genodus. The hills colored green by the last fall of rain. Grass is now sprouting where only dust had remained. Streams begin to trickle where sand had shown their course. Stones tumble quietly downstream in an erosive wind of no remorse. All right. And I kind of shaped it like an arrow, too, if you can see that. Just, I don't know, just something cute I did. Not significant, but something I did. All right, here we go. This one's 3 pages. Yeah. Buddhism is not a religion. So, yeah, I used to perform this. Performed this a bunch of times. All right, here we go. Buddhism is not a religion. All right, let me sit up and say this with some emphasis. I don't know, perhaps. It's every religion except Buddhism. Oh, I'm supposed to be turning even like this one. Represents a god or two. From Yahweh to Satan, even a holy ghost will do. Sometimes a human is represented by a religion. Even unrelated religions can claim them. The Father of Christ, I've never seen him worshipped. As the cuckold of God, his authority was skipped. Mary was lucky Joseph didn't want a divorce. Back in those days, she'd be stoned to death, of course. So where are all the Buddhist saints? Where are Buddhist gods? What are Buddhist complaints? Buddha would never kill someone for disagreeing. He said Buddhist Dharma is never to be defended. It is only for sharing and revealing. First of all, there was Shakyamuni Buddha. Muni is Sanskrit. It means first of the clan Shakya. To become enlightened, Siddhartha Gautama created the first blank psychology form, this template of Buddhist wisdom to create a better human norm. That's all he did, without saying the word forbid. Buddha explains some techniques that work, and others you'll wish you never did. So Buddhism should be the best religion for everyone. Well, maybe yes. But that's like saying everyone should play chess for fun. You'll soon discover that half the world doesn't want to think. Their minds all run slow. The really slow ones stink. For them to become a Buddhist, they'd have to change. But it is not the nature of the slower minds to rearrange. The ambition of a person to enjoy their life and mind determines how far they'll look and limits what they find. In order to be a Buddhist, you have to want and desire to improve yourself, your life, your world in which you exist. Love requires you to move. Love is a verb. Only in action does it exist. Maturity and enlightenment in Buddhism, you must persist. This growing collection of Buddha morals teach virtue and peace of mind, evolves with society and with science, while religions remain traditionally blind. Buddhism is a checklist to improve the present, leaving the past behind. So yeah, I guess you couldn't be a Buddhist MAGA person because they're all trying to go backwards. In fact, they won't say exactly what day. Pick a day in the past that was great that you think we should be duplicating. Never ever seen one of them do that or heard. It's just, some people are just so tricked and fooled. It's like I was talking to my dad and we got in a conversation and I got to him understanding the old Barnum and Bailey saying that there's a sucker born every minute. Barnum could just trick and fool everybody. That was his success. People are very easily tricked and fooled, or at least all the suckers are. And after getting my dad to explain what a sucker was and everything, I said, well, then, Dad, I guess you're one of those suckers, aren't you? He said, yeah, I am. My dad is one of those suckers. He can be tricked and fooled. That's why he loved Trump. He actually thought that, he said that Trump thinks the way he does. If that's true, my dad's evil, much more evil than I ever could have imagined being. But my dad's just too foolish to be able to see the truth. So, but that's just the way some people are. Some people are just too dumb to see the truth. Like me, I'm too dumb to look up at the sky and know what all the constellations are. Maybe dumb's the wrong word, ignorant, because I could learn it if I wanted to. But, when you look at something, you either understand it or you don't. And the degree you understand it is usually based on your own personal motivation to understand it. So anyway, all you dumb people out there, well, I bet you're not out there. I bet I've already lost you. It's only been a few podcasts. Hang around a little bit more. If I can get any of you dumb people to want to be a little smarter, I guarantee you'll be happy. I mean, money back. Seriously, I can guarantee. The dumber you are, the more unhappy you are. I mean, ignorance, they say, is a blessing. I've actually had a girlfriend who worked with retarded kids, and I went on outings and things with them. And so I know what they're talking about when they talk about that bliss of ignorance. But not all retarded kids are happy. But I understand what they meant by that. And some of them were. But anyway, where'd that thing go on my finger? Hey, it's me waving goodbye with my new tattoo. All right. Buddha Z has explained something. What did I explain? Well, I actually, that poem, Genodus, it's just kind of a little story of the beginning and the end. So there's little things you could pull out of it, because I kind of chose my words carefully. So the point is just basically a poetic illustration of life. I don't think I'm really doing anything grandiose, but it's an interesting perspective. Let's put it that way. The other poem that we read, Buddhism is not a religion. Now, hopefully I have explained something well. Okay, Buddhism is not a religion. In fact, as I said, there aren't any Buddhist saints, there aren't any Buddhist gods, there aren't any Buddhist complaints. You're just always trying to help people. So the only complaint should be that you haven't been studying enough Buddhism. There's things that you could know. The more you read of what Buddha said, the smarter you will be. So my goal is just share some of that stuff with you, because I know you're not going to go read it all. I don't know anybody who's reading Buddhism. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of that great stuff, those pearls of wisdom. Doesn't matter if that pearl came out of an ugly, slimy oyster. That pearl's beautiful. And so anyway, I'm going to find those pearls for you and share them with you. So that'll be the reward of being my friend, because I will make you smarter. I can guarantee that. I mean, it's just what I do. I've got proof. See you later. I saluted you, didn't you? Okay. Have a great... I hate slogans and little contrary, just off the cuff saying, what do I wish you? I hope that I've inspired you to be smarter and try to understand your life better and try to find some purpose for being alive. Make it worth your while, let alone somebody else's.
Crystal gives and Crystal takes. She looks like Popeye when she gets the shakes. Oh, baby. Oh, oh. At the 7-Eleven, she yells and screams up and down the block. I lost my husband to another man's cock. Oh, baby. Oh, babe. At the 7-Eleven, at the 7-Eleven, a bum's at the door. A movie star enters and a matador. During the day and even better at night, standing between vampires for a big bite. There may be a huddle of homelessness or a pair of policemen getting a tease. Oops. Thought I'd been attacked by something. It was a hairball. There may be a hand... Okay, here we go. Part 2. There may be a huddle of homelessness or a pair of policemen getting iced teas. Oh, my, my. Oh, my, my. At the 7-Eleven. You may not be a winner or a never bet, but the prices at 7-Eleven include the memories you won't forget. Oh, my. Oh, my, my. At the 7-Eleven, at the 7-Eleven, a bum's at the door. A movie star enters and a matador. During the day and even better at night, standing in line with vampires for a big bite. At the 7-Eleven, at the 7-Eleven,